This conference will now be recorded.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call this New Richland City Council meeting of December 11th, 2023 to order. All are present except for Jody. Stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Move to approve.
I got a couple things here quick. Sorry, need to add a B under for new business personnel policy, drug and alcohol free workplace policy, and number 6 on new business DocuWare annual.
Okay, move to approve with changes.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve the agenda with the additions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Move to approve consent agenda items.
I'll second it.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to approve the consent agenda items. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, at this time, I'm gonna open up the truth and taxation hearing. And we'll move down.
Well, I gotta go through. All right, so, as we go through, it's required part of the law, so, purpose of the truth and taxation hearing is to enhance participation in the property tax system, to educate property owners, residents, businesses, and other interested community members on how property taxes are determined, to encourage transparency in the annual budget process, to create an opportunity for property owners, residents, businesses, and other interested community members to engage with city council on the proposed budget and budget. This is a comparison between 2023 and 2024. Long story short, we knocked some debt off of the TIF refunding bond. Had to add a little bit of that back to the 2014 GEO bond because it was a little underfunded. All said and done, the adjusted tax levy difference is $52,395 or 8.73% from 2023. Just a slide showing the breakdown of what the budgets are by department. Obviously, personnel costs is the majority of our budget, with ambulance and maintenance and police taking the majority of that take up. Just for your information, utility bills. So the city's water, sanitary sewer system, and garbage collection system are all enterprise funds, as is the care center fund is the enterprise fund. So the costs associated with those funds are paid for by the utility or the people that use those funds. So the utility customers, the people that use the care center pay for those funds. Taxes don't pay for those services. So the increases this year, the consumer price index is up almost 4% over last year. It's simply just costing us more to do the same things that we do to provide the services to our residents. Effective January 1st, 2024, I missed it before. City's now required to provide sick and safe time to all part-time, temporary, and seasonal employees as of January 1st. So there's a little bit of increase in that. Increase in fees of other departments, and then also continuing aging infrastructure and aging equipment that things need to be replaced for. This year, the decreases were the civil defense budget went down by $13,000 because we didn't have a siren to pay for. Obviously, that's taken care of. Legion Field, that $50,000 was put in the budget last year to help the fence repaired. St. Olaf Lake, we are not going to be doing concession stand this year, so that went down. As I said previously, the bond payment went down. We did increase the bond payment on the 2014. And then a few minor changes, basically wages and technology and some other things like that. So. The capital funding that we've set aside for this year, $120,000 for streets and $30,000 for seal coating. Squad replacement, $5,000, Legion Field repairs, ambulance replacement, and a few other things for a total of $108,350. And that's what I got for that. We can open up questions or comments or.
Is there any questions or?
Yeah, on that one, I think it's a spelling error. Is that a go box or a go bond?
Geo bond.
But the other one below it says box.
Yeah,
Is that a
sure.
spelling
Oh,
error?
I'm sure it's, yeah, I'm sure it's,
Okay, so I didn't think there was a box.
no, it's a bond.
Okay. Yeah, I had another one, actually two. The nursing home fees, it says offset in revenue of $65,000. Is that a wash then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, so basically, I don't remember why, and Bob, can you explain why the city has to pay that? I don't remember why.
That's the ECPN.
Yes, so long story short, we pay it and then they pay us
I remember.
back and it's just a
And
wash.
then it said ambulance, the 6,850. How often do they do that? Is that every year?
What are you talking about?
The increase in the training budget?
Oh, that was just for, to align with what we need to have to send people to school and stuff like that.
Because we had more people joining?
We were spending more than we had planned and
Good,
anticipated
yeah,
for, but yes, it's
okay.
basically to cover refreshers and stuff like that.
And on 2024 capital funding?
Yep.
Says Legion Field repairs and maintenance?
Yep.
Is that $5,000? Is that above and beyond what we spent in 2023?
Yes,
Okay, what's that gonna be?
to be determined,
Okay,
but most likely it'll probably end up to do with the south softball field.
and then on the next one, where City Hall and ambulance, they had a lock, $1,800 for lock? Is that one of those computerized
Yeah,
ones?
so we can contract, or we can find out, or we can see who's going in and out at all times.
So I kind of figured. That's all I have.
So we'll just leave it open for a minute.
Yep, we move on to department reports, we can come back to resolutions later.
Okay, ambulance department report.
That one's gonna be in writing, I believe. All right. EMT course is done. They have to take their national test. They had their Christmas party on Sunday. Had bingo again, and were able to donate toys to the bingo to the toy drive. They're have another bingo in February. She would like to purchase some batteries.
Is there a total there?
Yeah, I would like to look into that a little bit further. Josh, do you remember what you paid for batteries the last time you paid batteries? Were they
$226.
$226.
A piece?
So I'm sure that this is probably not accurate then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's a little bit low. So I guess it's up to you if you wanna approve that, or it really doesn't matter, because even if we order them now, we won't get them for,
6 months.
6 months usually.
so if you want me to, I can ask her to get a more
Yeah, let's get a more
precise number
concrete price.
and maybe take inventory of what she's got and find out what we need to do, so. Outside of that, that's kind of all there is.
Would there be a need to maybe look at them and see if just get a whole brand new radio with a new battery and everything?
Well, and that's another thing too, is that we probably should figure out what we have to do for public safety radios, so. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out, so.
Because why spend money if you need to spend it again in a
Right.
year?
Yep, exactly. So I'll get with her and Denise and myself and Josh, and we'll figure out if we are gonna stick with the radios we got, or we have to change, or go from there.
I think the plan was just to update a few years.
Yeah,
System.
yeah, so if there's a chance we can buy 1 or 2 batteries as opposed to replacing them all and then having to use that money for later, then look at that.
Move to approve ambulance report?
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve the ambulance department report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Fire department report.
I don't really have too much, do I?
No.
No, no. Other than a healthy check to donate to the city out of our relief association donate funds for yearly.
Chad, why don't you go up there and
Yearly
accept that, and I'll
donation.
take a picture.
That is a healthy job.
Should take the pressure off for a week or something.
Yeah.
Josh, there, right there.
Stand up, Josh.
I am.
Yeah.
On my tiptoe.
All right, perfect.
Nice job.
Yeah,
The only other thing is maybe you want to tell them about the ISO inspection. The good news we
I was
got.
gonna say, what does ISO mean?
it's our insurance rating. We get,
What does ISO mean?
well, it's their,
It's a standard.
it's through our insurance.
Yeah, so it's basically, so the ISO is a standard, and it's all standardized, and I can't remember what it stands for the life.
Yeah,
of it
it's
right
like-
now, but
It's a nation.
yeah, long story short, it affects your homeowner's insurance for fire protection.
In our area, so. They do it, they do the inspection about every,
5 years.
yeah, 6 years, 5 years. And we were kind of middle of the road on our last audit. We've added some equipment and we didn't have a full squad at the last audit. We do now. So that brought our rating up considerably, so.
So how does they inspect our fire department
Yeah,
and that affects our rates in town?
That affects
Our
your
houses?
insurance rates, yes, because what it's looking to do is how many gallons of water can we get to your house in X amount of time if something's
Okay.
going on?
That kind of
How
thing.
many people can respond?
it looks at everything.
The biggest thing that to our benefit was we added that pumper, but we kept our old pumper, so now they see us as having three
Having
pumpers.
3 pumpers. So that adds to our gallons a minute to be able to pump, you know, and, I mean, they look at everything.
So you'll see a little relief in I'm talking like probably 25 cents off.
Yeah.
But
But we're here for you. so.
it's nice. The guy told Josh that we were right where we should be and probably a little higher than some of the departments that are similar.
Yeah, he said we're right in there with towns our size. So.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's nice.
Other than that, that's all I have. So. Thank you for your time.
Move to approve fire department report?
Thanks,
Have a
Josh.
motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve fire department report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Make sure you wash that off right away, otherwise it won't come off.
Yep,
Thank you.
yep. No problem.
All right, we'll move down to the care center report. Police department report.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
We had 171 calls for service for the month of November, bringing our total to 1,121, up from last year. 6 ordinance letters were sent out for unregistered vehicles and junk violations. As of today, 3 of the 6 have been resolved. So, they have till Wednesday to fix it. So, be mindful of the weather now that the snow is unfortunately coming here. So after 2 inches, need to move your vehicles off the street. Annual firearms training for low light inclement weather was completed on the 15th. Officer Jant completed use of force and taser training and is still doing well on FTO with Officer Durad. Officer Madden will be signed off FTO at the end of the month so he can start picking up shifts. And Officer Victorino resigned effective December 15th due to scheduling conflicts with family and life in general. So we thank him for his time with the department and wish him all the best. Oil change for 260 and shop with the cop was this past Saturday. And Officer Durad and Officer Jant attended that with the kids. That's it.
Did you get a price on tires?
Not yet.
We're working on it.
I move to approve the police.
I have a quick question for you. So you got 3 of the 6 cleared up. But the other three you said Wednesday, they're not done. Do we tow them? Do we give them another letter?
So
What do we do?
by the 13th, they will get an admin citation. So.
What comes with a fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that goes directly to the city. That payment.
Oh, okay.
So we're old school, so we do admin citations handwritten. Those get and then they come to City Hall, or they can pay online or by phone.
So if they don't do it after that, then what happens?
Can you just keep paying?
Huh?
Can you keep just paying the fine?
You can, I can keep
How many times?
as many times as the council will allow me to set the one. But yeah, the next step is sending them an admin citation.
Okay. Thank you.
And then a state citation.
Move to approve the police department report.
Have a motion by Jason and a second by Candy to approve the police department report. All in favor, say aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Care Center report.
Care Center report, so for the month of November, we had an average census of
I'm gonna drink a water.
34. Today our census is currently 32. Mid-October to the week of Thanksgiving, we were under COVID guidelines and basically shut down. And we had, I think, 21 residents that had COVID, maybe 25 staff.
You want to show them the cups they're at?
I have water in my straw.
So we limited any incoming people. Nobody really wants to come into a place that's got a COVID outbreak anyway. So that's kind of what happened to our census. And fortunately, though, at the end of November, we did have multiple people move in. One passed away within a few days of moving in. She was on hospice, and 3 others have gone home because our care is that good. So then in middle of November, we had a state survey. We did receive 5 deficiencies on that on the healthcare operations side, which we just submitted a plan of corrections for that today. The fire marshal survey was the same week, and we received no deficiencies from the fire marshal, which is fantastic. I don't know how long it's been since that happened.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So that was really great. Residents and staff, there's our COVID stuff. We are now free of COVID, and we're hoping that we can have a normal Christmas like everybody else does. Our projects, just to kind of fill in our report, we did order the 25 units. We received them all. We are now about 60% installed. That's working out great. We have not gotten our beds yet. We got our mattresses, but not our beds.
Yeah.
And then we did purchase we like to do what they call point of care charting. So immediately coming out of a room, you walk up to the computer, blink, blink, blink. I did that. I'm done. I no longer have to write this down. I don't have to remember it for later. It's right now. We used to have these big monitors on the wall with a computer tower behind it, which heated up, and they were really slow. We purchased notebooks for the wall, took down the other stuff, and put the notebooks up. They're faster. They are more efficient for the staff because they stay signed in rather than having to wait for it to sign in and all that again. So that's been better. Fun that we've had at the nursing home. Well, by golly, we had, even through the COVID, Moments Hospice came and did a Veterans Day memorial for our staff and residents on the intercom. That was fantastic. And the residents, of course, were excited to go back to the dining room during Thanksgiving. So that was great. Today, we had, the elderly Legion Riders group come in for Veterans Day. They came in last year as well, and they gave all veterans, challenge points.
Cool.
So that was something pretty awesome. I was happy to be a part of that. Staffing, we still have the openings. We are starting to see new applicants trickle in over time, more frequently. So that's a plus. I hope that sparks a change in kind of what's going on lately. One thing I would like to mention, so this year we did get the employee retention credit grant, which was a huge chunk of change. And then we got a Minnesota Department of Health building grant for long-term debt or fixed building projects. That was much needed. That's where the PTEC units came from. And right after Labor Day, Lindsay and I applied for a Minnesota workforce grant for all of our staff. The Minnesota workforce grant is an incentive grant for people for 2024. And what it was, if the employee earns less than $30 an hour, which is most of our people, they were eligible for up to $3,000 a head. We applied for the grant, we got the grant, but so many people applied for it, the numbers went down. But so last Thursday, we were able to give our staff a $1,000 check just before Christmas.
Awesome.
That was pretty fantastic. That's all we got. Anything else?
Remember, tell them there's 2 more payments yet.
Oh, true. Yep. So there will be, each person will get $2,800 for this grant. So they got $1,000 last week in April, and we're gonna split it up April and June to give them another $900 each of those months.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that.
I'll move that we accept the care center report.
Have a motion by Jason and a second by Janda to accept the care center report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
You too.
Merry Christmas.
Shell?
Hi, guys.
Good evening.
Today, the lift station by Napa was fixed.
Yay.
Yes, no one ever got flooded, nothing like that, but it was pretty tiresome checking that twice a day, so. Yeah, it's all good, and that'll work for a long, long time, so. Put a little bit different part in there, so it won't go bad so fast when the one in. Yeah. That's done, all the labs and paperwork were sent in on time for November. Empire Pipe, I can't wait to get that video to check that out and go through
Did they
that.
give you a time frame on that?
Did he say anything to you?
No, so they were in town and they cleaned and televised basically everything south of 30 for the most part and west of Aspen.
Yeah, down,
And then-
well,
And then
yeah,
First
down
Street
to Ash
Southwest
and.
and the
First-
places where we knew we probably
Yeah.
had some problems and then a place where we were thinking our next road project is gonna have to be at, just to kind of see what condition stuff was underneath, underneath the ground, and they did
There's some
find
real
some
doozies under
issues
there.
that we need to
Yeah.
address.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is, well, and I think some of it's probably from past work that, yeah, from a long time ago.
So what we'll probably end up having to do is Eric and Shell and I, and then we'll probably call in that Corey from
Thank you.
Bolton and Mink
Mhm.
and kind of go through and see if it's something that we can like pick a couple spots and just dig down and fix them and then cover those spots, or if it's something where we have to do some more significant stuff. It looked like there was maybe a few spots we found where there could be some tile emptying into the sanitary sewer system, so. We can cap those pretty easy at a pretty low cost, and obviously help with the flood stuff. So, between that and the hydrology study and stuff, I mean, we're making the right progress in the right spots, just a matter of time. So,
Moving right along.
but yeah, once we get that, and I think what we'll probably do is maybe we'll set that up for a work session, and then whoever from the council wants to come in and go through that with us and kind of view stuff can, and for those who don't want to watch millions of miles of pipe.
Did you find any baseballs or pencils?
No, shotgun pencils.
Really?
Nuts and bolts by the school.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, we gotta make sure that they cover their drains. Lots of roots.
Really?
Lots.
Yeah, they had one
Lots.
spot that was almost completely full, so
Mhm.
we had to tell them.
I think that was down on either South Broadway or South Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took care of that right away, otherwise we would have had to have them come back.
We're
to do
talking
it.
mounds of roots.
Roots?
That's what's been coming in at the plant, just
Mm.
mounds, like just tons.
And then we'll have them scheduled to just start doing every year, they'll do a section of town, and we'll just keep going.
So they send some kind of a cutter through and cut
Yeah.
this out?
Spinning,
It's got cutters on it and
yeah.
camera on it,
Okay,
yeah. Can move
Kind of like a
around.
roto-rooter,
Mhm.
okay.
So yeah, I'm interested to see.
Yeah, a lot of the pipes haven't been touched for a while, you could tell. I mean, say the pipe is this big, well, it was about like that, so they had to sit there and just keep
Mhm.
cutting through it.
Okay.
A lot of residential services, you can tell that they've definitely got their own problems going on, so, yeah.
There was quite a bit they did say that a lot of it was in good shape though, yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean,
Yeah.
we did learn
Few bad
a lot of
spots.
Some
our
good
stuff
stuff.
is in
Yeah.
good shape too, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be excited to see. I would imagine that report will come quickly, because I'm sure that they probably can't take payment until that report's completed, and I'm sure they'd
Yeah.
rather get that to us, so.
Yeah, he said it wouldn't take too long, so. And then Straight River gave you got that right?
Yep, it's here.
Yeah. Like he said too, we don't have to do all this at once.
Yeah, well,
You know,
So
it's up to.
that 7,000's for the whole thing, right? The whole
Yeah.
project,
Yeah.
So, I did talk to Excel Energy, and they're gonna put an LED light at the top of the entrance on that pole. And I asked for a quote, because I was sure that it was gonna be crazy, and it was like $224.86 or
Wow.
something like that.
Yeah.
So that one we've got scheduled, and that's gonna happen. This is, I wanna say we should have collected about 18,000 in capital, from the capital improvement charge on the sewer, water bills, this is exactly the kind of stuff that we did that for. So I would recommend to the council that we just get this done now.
Yep.
And Ori gave us two prices. He said one with, all LED stuff, and then one just replacing it with bulbs. And I don't think it makes any sense to go that route.
No.
So cost to be $7,022.60 minus the $445 estimated rebate from Excel. I would suggest the council pay for that out of capital.
Okay.
Fund from the sewer fund.
That $464.36, is that included in that 7,000? But he's got a deduction.
He's added, no, if he doesn't have to do, he's believing that he needs to do rigid conduit and have to rewire everything. If he does not have to do that, we take $464.
Off that 7,000. Okay.
So I'd approve it for up to that 7,000, and then we get it for cheaper than that.
I would imagine that all that conduit is shot in.
I would think so too.
Everything else has been out there.
That's original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the two blow breakers, so the big lights,
Oh, okay.
you can't.
I move to approve the $7,022.
Second it.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve the $7,022.60 out to the sewer plant to fix all the lighting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
that it?
That's it. Unless you guys have anything.
No.
I got nothing else.
Yeah, when can it be June?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that this morning. All right, good.
Thank you. Move to approve the people service report.
Second it.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Brenda to approve people service report. All in favor? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Street department report.
Hey, everyone.
Good evening.
The scoreboard came in, this week.
Whoa,
Last week, last week.
nice.
Looks really good.
A little bigger and awkwarder than we anticipated it to be.
But we're working on that too.
So we got her out, put away for the winter.
Okay,
So,
good.
yeah, we were gonna try to get it up yet this year, but I just don't think that we're gonna probably be able to get that done.
So many other things going on right now.
But it looks,
Bigger
I'm
and
so
awkward
excited.
now.
Just it was 30, I mean, the container was what, 25 feet long, and so the semi driver pulled up and said, "Here you go."
Sat in
So,
the vehicle and.
yeah, sat in the vehicle with her 2 dogs and waited for us to get it off the truck.
Are you gonna need a crane to lift it up there?
No, well, I think if we can, I think we'll see if maybe somebody like Mike Meyer or somebody's willing to help us out with their big tall fork.
Otherwise, they'll all be in town.
Oh, yeah, they'll all would work too. Chad would be willing to
Okay.
help us use that.
How much can that lift? And high,
Depends on how high.
1,000 pounds.
No, not a problem.
Yeah, and we'll just have to go up, we just have to go up like probably 3 feet higher than the fence.
Yeah.
So, and then.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. So,
Good. Yeah, it's gonna look cool.
yeah, I'm excited.
Waldorf Welding, fixed all the cracks, looks wonderful. They had to redo some bit bushings up in the front. And then we got a call for the lights in the library. I think we had to put in 10, and all of them have I don't know nothing about electrical, but they all have the
Ballast.
on the side. So they're all kind of, that might be something to look forward,
Looked it up,
looking
looked at
at
LED.
getting LED.
Yeah.
So, if you want prices, get for,
Yeah, next time you see Ori, just order and get price in both of them.
okay, sounds good.
That's what these were, and they just converted them over.
Yeah, they just cut the ballast out and put
Regular
LEDs in.
bulbs. Yep.
Some, I guess you don't have to take the ballast out. I don't know what. Some you don't, some you do.
Usually just have to disable them for the meetings.
And then tomorrow we have a meeting with Rural Water, about Lynn Copper, which is gonna be a big thing, a very big thing.
Aware of that one.
So, I don't know if we did put in a grant did it come or?
It hasn't been issued yet, no, we've applied for, there's a Minnesota State grant that gives us money to do the research and the research part of it to try to figure out what we've got. And so we've applied for that, we have not heard if we've got, I'm sure we probably will.
We did get lucky because, I don't know if I've already told you this or not, but we got lucky because when we put in all the new meters 9 years ago, they all wrote down what was down in people's basements.
Oh,
So
good.
that's huge for us.
Huge.
Yeah, because otherwise we're gonna have to pay a company like People Service or somebody else to basically go door to door and
What's
your
concern about copper?
Well, I was gonna say, you can do, but it's.
yeah.
They're-
It's just, it's one of those things where it's infiltrating the water.
Copper?
It's more.
Lead,
it's
lead,
more-
it's lead.
the
But I mean,
galvanized.
what are they worried about It's the copper? galvanized.
It's the galvanized that they're wanting to know about.
But they say copper.
They wanna know whatever, it's in every house, so that in future, they already have it documented.
Well, I know that, but why copper? Every goddamn house has got copper in it.
Well, some have lead solars on them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so the nice part is hopefully that
Just
initial
another
stuff is
twitch.
done.
Mm-hmm.
And then, right after this meeting tomorrow, Braden and I are gonna go up to St. Cloud, and we're gonna go to a schooling through the Midwarn, and then we got asked to speak, about
Nice.
when they came, for a flood, and thank you, between all three of us, we kind of got together and made up a little packet for it, so.
Good.
So we will be back Wednesday night.
Next Tuesday.
What is the Min Warren?
line going?
So it's emergency management for public utilities. So basically, like when we requested extra pumps, other towns came and brought us their pumps. They don't charge you for it. They don't do anything as part of being part of it.
Yeah.
So
It's a.
But is it like any emergency or is it just flooding?
you know what? We had a
We had-
Tornado.
emergency at the plant or something like that, and
That's
needed
who
a
I called.
generator or.
Okay.
When we had the flood, I called the duty officer and then I called them.
Yeah.
They called it for me. if
I think you talked about that before, and we could do the same to someone else. It's-
Yeah, I mean, if Eric would get the request that if somebody needs something,
Yeah,
and then we would just deliver it to them and say, yep, go ahead and use it as long as you need it.
sure.
Would like the riots in Twin Cities be considered part of that?
Probably not.
Not-
It's not
Because it's
public
not that
utility
type of
related.
thing.
No,
Okay,
it's
it's public
public
utilities.
utility related,
Gotcha.
so,
Okay.
I mean, if part of that was,
Water,
if they would have wrecked a lift station or something like that,
Gotcha.
potentially it could be, but
But public
yeah,
utilities
it's
is key.
it's more for rural communities than it is for metro.
Okay.
And
communities.
equipment.
Yeah.
So each city puts on there what equipment they have and could possibly borrow out.
Mhm.
That's
So
cool.
That's a big help.
Makes
Good
it easier
deal.
for everyone.
Well, and it doesn't
So-
cost anything.
Big thing too with that trailer, that'll be wonderful with, and with us and,
Everything will be in there.
good, okay.
So, all right. I got some salt sand I got some prices from Dallas Locum and the Cecil County. It's kind of a wash either way you go with it. Just due to the fact that they'll deliver it to us other than us having to go get it. So, and what I would like to see happen is still get it from Logan and just have, Waseca County as kind of a backup. Or vice versa, you know, it doesn't really matter how you do it. If we go with Waseca County, it's just gonna be kind of a honor system. So I don't know, that's what gets me a little bit, I don't know if I want to.
What, do they sell it to you by the ton, or by the
yard.
load, or what?
By the yard.
By the yard?
So,
Okay.
yep. So you guys, what you wanna do?
But you're recommending not do Waseca?
No, but maybe I said that wrong. I guess I don't care. It's great to have a backup.
Yeah.
On either way, so.
I think the thing is, if we order from Waseca, it's for sure gonna take us 2 trips to get back there, back and forth, for the amount that we can get from Logan.
Oh,
It's gonna be the same,
price,
I mean, it's within $100 of each other, I think. I don't think there's really much of a
okay.
difference. Is that what you're looking for, is that 15.7 yards?
Yeah,
So,
and we have a full bay, so we're good for a while. I mean,
Okay.
hopefully we don't need it this year.
Yeah. That'd be great. So all
So
that
do you-
sand and salt they have mixed out there before you come into town, is that for the county and for the city of Waseca? And we can get from there?
I think they're together, the state and
Okay.
the county are together.
Oh, state, okay.
Yeah.
Waseca has their own shed that they have over by the streets department with their sand mixture.
so I guess
I mean, there's a lot there.
you don't need it now.
No,
But do you need to
Um,
prepay
Do
this?
you want,
Yeah,
do you want,
to make sure we get some.
I guess direction from the council, are you okay with him if he needs it to just get it and then we'll approve it at the next meeting, or you wanna get
No.
ahead of time, or?
If he's got a full bay, don't pay to
Okay.
get it unless we need it, but
I just wanted them to say that, so that you know that if you need it,
Just tell them to
just
get it
get
if it
it.
needs it.
yeah, if you need it, you just got the approval to get it.
And go with Locums, I think, because then you have your time, you don't have to go after it.
Well, and the other issue is if he needs it at that time, he's gonna have all the plows on, so he's gonna have to take all that off too.
Correct.
And that's not fun to put them on and off.
next thing is, kind of looking for a salt spreader. It's a little 3.1 that you plug into either one of our vehicles or our lawnmower. It's wireless, so we can we can do the sidewalks, we can do in front of the fire hall. Big thing would be, in front of the care center, because ours goes off to the side, we can't get it right in the middle. So I got some prices on that, and the cheapest one I found was, through, Northland, Owatonna.
It's just like one of those hangs off the back of a pickup truck.
Yep.
New or used?
New.
New.
That one from Northland, you can put it on the truck or the.
Yeah, they're actually, them three are all the same, just different brands. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, seems to me that the low bid's probably the best, and we should be able to wait 2 weeks at the current temperatures.
Is there,
supposed to
do
be
you
40
think there's a
every day
big
this week.
difference in quality with the price being that much cheaper from?
Chris Steele's probably the best one.
Well, actually, Chris Steele told me that, that Western makes Fisher.
Oh, really?
So I was looking at the price, I'm like, well, if it makes it, it's, $400 cheaper.
Huh.
We do, so just to put it in perspective for you, we're, what now, 20 days away from the end of the year, and we have not used any money out of our snow equipment budget for this year. And there's probably, yeah. So I mean, if you want to buy it, now's a good time to buy it.
Yeah, I don't think. That's
We will,
good.
I will guarantee you that it could snow tons and we would not get through what we would have to do to get through that budget. So, but I think that, I think that having the ability for them to do the sidewalks, especially in front of the care center and a few other places, like he said, they drive to the care center, just putting it on the side.
Stand out there.
Or yeah, and out by the wastewater plant.
That's no good.
So.
So which one are you recommending, Eric?
If it's my money, I'd go with Northland.
It is your money.
It's your money.
Okay. I move to approve the purchase of the Northland salt spreader.
That's $940.
I'll agree.
Have a motion
I'll
by
second that.
Lauren and a second by Jason to purchase the Western Low Pro salt spreader from Northland at $942. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Then the last one I got for you is, I need a new pump for the backwash out of the water plant. It's, the pump isn't keeping up, and I don't know if anyone's going by there, but right now it's all brown. The pump isn't keeping up, so it's just, pushing up and over. And it's kind of wrecking the side. I had the cops call me the other night at 1:30 in the morning.
So at the water plant, like you're looking at the water plant, on the right-hand side, there's that cement area, and there's those two brown hatches. So basically what's happened is the pump's not pumping fast enough, so the water's coming up, and then it's coming through those hatches and then flowing out over into the street.
Oh,
To release.
And there was like 2.5, 3 inches of water in the curb area there. And actually, if you go past there tonight, you'll see an outline of how much it was into the street. But it was dumping.
Which
Yeah.
gets slippery in the winter.
It could be really bad in the winter. So, but Eric has talked to them and thinks that if the pumps faster, it'll take care of the situation.
So it's got half horsepower, and I want to push it up to 1 horsepower.
Does it have to be changed for breaker wise and stuff? It's the same amperage?
I had Delane there today. Everything should just go
Okay.
right back.
okay.
So,
You don't have a price for that though either, huh?
no, I do have a price. $2,768
Plus electrician.
plus electrician.
So another $500 probably for the
Oh,
electrician.
and, by the way, the half horse was only $98 cheaper.
Oh.
So
Oh.
it was like,
Well, it's much better than.
yeah.
Someone have the pump around here available to get?
It'll take 2 weeks to get it.
Everything is 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
Standard minimum.
I
Then you
move
got
that we
the
get
holidays
The
in
1
there.
horse pump.
Then you got the holidays
Sorry
in there.
about that.
Yeah.
Just make a motion. I'll move that we get the 1 horse pump and the bill, whatever you said the price was.
$2,768 plus whatever the electrician charges.
Second.
Thank you.
I have a motion by Jody and a second, Jason, and a second by Lauren to approve the new pump at $2,716 plus electrician. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
60, sorry. All opposed?
You didn't even, I don't think you even touched on it, but just the skid steers in waiting for delivery and the mowers in waiting for delivery.
Yep.
We do not have a time frame on the blower yet. We are not allowing them to take the tractor until the blower.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree.
The blower what?
Snow blowers.
Snow blower. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, we can't afford it. Yeah, and they know that. 'Cause
Well, that's probably why they're not in a hurry to get it here either.
Oh, they're in a hurry. I think it's sold.
They want the tractor.
Well, they want it.
Well, I
Can you
mean,
get it for the same, of it getting the
It's a
same price?
wash.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's a wash.
nothing changed on it after the use?
They better not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just asking because
No. No, I will make it.
motion to approve.
Yeah.
approved.
Thank you, Eric. Second.
Have a motion by Janda and a second by Lauren to approve the street department report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Move down to unfinished business.
All right, so we were talking about utility billing and we were talking about whatever, we couldn't do it because we had tied into a contract with TSN and I spoke to a really nice lady with the place that we were kind of looking to go in, and they were like, well, what can we do to make it work? And so long story short, they will pay our early termination fee and all the costs to move the van in if we move to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just kind of put some stuff in here. This is the system. It's called Paya. But long story short, this is the nicest part. Do you use PSN?
Yes.
PSN sucks. That's my personal opinion, not the opinion of the city of New Richland or anybody else. So with this is just some screenshots of our side. I believe this is our side. Yeah. So basically, it'll show your transactions, manage your user citizens portal. We can also use this as another messaging system for water, street utility stuff, things like that. We can do notifications if there's a water main break or anything like that as another option to do that. Reports are nice. This is just a payment portal so you can see, but long story short, in your account, you can set up auto pay, you can set up e-billing, text, provides you with 100 times more information than PSN does on their customer portal.
Mm-hmm.
Account history. The thing that I like is that you can actually it'll actually text you your bill, and then if you have your stuff all set up, you can actually hit pay and hit send and it'll pay.
It's done.
There's just so many more things you can do. You can store 3 or 4 credit cards in your account, and you could call City Hall here and Sarah Jo and I could pick up and they'd say, well, can you pay with the card ending in 434 or 5? And we just log in and click the pay.
Okay.
Like now we've got to go to select the account and then make the payment and then find the bill, and it's just a lot of.
No, this sounds good.
What are the fees for?
2.75% across the board. That's it, and then $1 for ACH.
Yeah, a lot of miscellaneous fees though.
Huh?
You see the miscellaneous fees?
Which miscellaneous fees are you talking about?
It's right below it. Keep going. Right there.
Yeah, so that's chargeback. So if return check, I mean, the only other fee that we would pay is the $9.95 monthly fee.
I was just gonna say.
So they don't charge anything else.
Okay.
And all the fees for you guys are being passed on to the customer. Okay, so the customer pays the 2.75% per swipe or the $1 ACH fee.
So Tony, could they come in and get this up and running for the January?
We have to give 3 months notice to PSN.
Oh.
So if you guys are willing to go today, my thing is I would submit our 30 or 90-day notice tomorrow to PSN to end on the 12th of March. Then we would read on the 13th of March with this new system.
Okay,
So
that's good.
What were the issues we were having with PSN?
it's having issues downloading back and forth with Banyan, double batches. Their customer service ain't great.
No, I know
They
that.
don't call back very often. Just the portal for payment is not as easy. It's
Okay.
I think this gives our utility customers a lot more control over their accounts too, being able to see a lot more stuff. So,
I know they've been down quite a bit in
Mhm.
things as well.
yeah, I just haven't been real, I mean, yeah, and the fees are, it took me a day and a half of conversating back and forth with her to try to get what even our contract was. Because it's been added to and changed and fixed and changed and,
That's not good.
yeah, it's just, so. They are our town web, the guys that do our website also do payment portal. We thought that would be nice if we could just merge that in, but it's 2.75% plus 30 cents a transaction. So it's significantly higher than anything else.
How long is this 2.75?
As long as the contract is signed, unless there's I don't know, I didn't look to see if there's a notification, but this would be a 3-year contract.
I would move that we go with Paya software and then Tony contact the company and get the ball rolling.
I second that.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to approve the new Paya negotiation / contract. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Move down to the cat generator.
So I did ask those questions that you wanted me to ask.
I don't think it did. Well, yeah, I think it did. It's down a couple more.
I don't know, maybe it didn't.
I didn't see it, but it could be. I get confused. With
Yeah,
these on two sides
so
of the sheet
long
of
story
paper.
short, the let me pull it up here. Okay. I did ask him the questions that we had about it, and so long story short, this is only for failures. This is not a service and maintenance plan.
Okay.
That's a totally different charge. So then I did ask him, I said, well, what happens if somebody else, like Generator System Services, GSS or whatever we've been using, handles the maintenance on this machine? And they basically said that in order for this, they would have to use certified CAT parts and oil and that kind of stuff. And then annually, they would have to have the oil tested by CAT to make sure that the warranty or to be.
CAT will charge you for that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so I don't know what you want to do.
What do they classify as a failure?
If the generator breaks, or I mean, it's all the stuff that was,
Anything?
it was all the stuff that was on it.
Okay.
So, basically everything here: thermostat housing, manifolds, fuel lines, pumps, control modules, which was $8,000. We found out for that one. Alternators, power center,
Physical pieces.
pieces, and then all the labor, and then
If
like
they're maintained.
Yeah, well, we would make sure of that. I was just asking, I said, don't cats go like forever? You change the oil, you
I
do the
mean,
things that
if we
you're
had a
supposed to
crystal
do.
ball, it might last 40 years, it might
Yeah.
last 10. Just kind of depends.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know. You
Yeah.
know, extended warranties are one of those things where that's where they make their money, because 9 times out of 10 you don't use them.
that's what happens.
I
So
feel
we still-
confident in GSS's abilities to maintain stuff.
I do, it's a good company.
So I mean, do we blow the $6,000 and then still have, because I can't, I bet you it's $500 for CAT to test oil, at least.
Well-
I don't think it's less than that,
And that's
Yearly.
yearly we have to do that.
in addition to this warranty.
So this warranty would be just for the failure, and do we already have a maintenance plan in place?
GSS comes and services all of our stuff.
So we're not looking to CAT to get a maintenance.
No, because that would probably be 10 times what GSS
Okay.
charges.
And they're using the recommended oil and everything.
Yeah, they're probably not using CAT certified stuff.
It probably comes out of the same well in the
I know,
ground.
but
It's probably
they're
made
saying-
by.
In the middle of
Probably made by-
Egypt someplace, it's coming out of the same well.
So I guess it's just a matter of, do we want to take a chance with, so here's, this is the real big thing is, in order to buy the 10-year extended warranty, you have to do this before January 18th. If you wanna buy the 5-year warranty, you can do that at any time. It just needs an inspection, and they'll sell you 5 years. After the 18th of January, they will not sell you the 10-year warranty.
What's the differences between those two plans? Quite a bit, right?
Yeah, it was like 6,000.
5 years.
Yeah, 6,000 and 12,000.
And one's for 5 years, the cheaper one's for 5 years? and the
I
other
try
one's
to be
for-
funny, but it doesn't work.
But then we still have the additional testing every year.
Right.
on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things is what's gonna happen. And,
Yeah.
I mean.
If we had a crystal ball, it'd be
It costs
easy.
us 33,000 to rent that generator,
Yeah.
but,
But that other
No.
generator was 40 years old too.
right. And, I mean, we are exercising this thing on a normal routine, we're having people inspect it.
Yeah.
You know,
And at the end of the 5 years, we can continue on with another 5-year plan.
no. After January 18th, the only thing you can buy is a 5-year plan.
That's, I meant a 5-year,
Right, but one 5-year.
just one 5-year.
Yeah, you can't,
You can't
no
keep
more than that.
extending it.
And after the 18th of
I don't
January,
think it's needed.
after the
I don't
18th,
either.
after the 18th of January, we would have to have CAT come out and inspect before they would give us the extended service.
Mhm.
And you have to pay for it all upfront, they won't do
Yes,
a month yearly, right?
I don't think it's needed.
Even
I don't
5 years?
either. I just think CAT's pretty good
When was
equipment.
the last
And
time we used that? Like.
It runs once a week.
Yeah, it
I
gets
think the
exercised.
exercise, but other than that.
Yeah,
just
Power
kinda-
failure.
I don't think it's needed.
Yeah, I mean, without a crystal ball, it's not, but I mean, it's, if the thing runs good for 10 years, you basically throw $12,000 away.
Correct.
Because because it's not a service plan. And it simply is if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
If nothing goes wrong for 10 years, we blew $12,000. Yeah.
I don't know if you need a motion or something, but I say no.
I don't really.
Yeah, we don't need a motion, because if you don't want it, then it just.
No,
I mean, if you
well, I
want me
don't.
to Put it on the one more time we can, otherwise we'll just let it go. But I think Eric and Michelle do a good enough job maintaining that stuff with DSS. I think they do a good job, and I don't.
Well, a lot of it is you're paying for the name. That's
Oh, for sure, it's like John Deere, no different.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, good.
Okay.
Save some money.
so. Let's move down to new business.
If you would like to, you can authorize me to sign our annual audit agreement with Abdo for the 2023 financial audit.
So moved.
I've got a question. Can we go with anybody else?
We can,
Because didn't we have problems?
no.
It wasn't.
Abdo's been
No.
great.
It was
Oh, that's not
Larson
the one-
Allen from.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, and just for perspective, when I was in the city council, back when I was in city council, we had the same thing where we had questions about that, and we had a couple different places come in and rebid just to see what it was like, and they were within, $1,500 to $2,000 of each other. The nice thing about Abdo is they've worked with us long enough and have our history that it's very easy for us to get.
I thought they were the other people.
No, yeah, no.
Well, that's good.
That one we're off the subject, but that one we're kind of stuck to because they are the expert in the healthcare field. So, but,
Okay.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve to sign a contract with Abdo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Water Enterprise Fund.
All right, so I just went through and looked, changed a few things up, moved some stuff around. The only real increases that we had is a little bit of principal and interest that goes up a little bit this year on our PFA loan. So that's in there, and then obviously our water tower contract went up a little bit. So assuming that the council agrees with the fee schedule that I put together with the slight increase to water, that budget should be ready to go.
Now, this is the one where we were talking about his, they'd have one go up one year and then another one go up the other.
Yeah, usually, I did some checking and sewer fund is stable, but it's not to the point where we can come down. So there's just a slight increase in water to the tune of, it's a few cents on each side. It is, 13 cents on the base connection and,
Compared to what, before?
no, it's 13-cent increase to the base fee.
Okay.
And then, a 37-cent increase per 1,000 gallons of usage.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
The I'm trying to figure out the words I want to say for this. The money in that fund, what can that be spent on?
Just the water fund. So water pipes, water.
So if we're pulling up a street and they have to do something.
Yeah, so like if we were to do like a full, like let's say we decide we want to do, and we're not doing that this year. But let's pretend. Yeah, let's pretend for sake. Eric and I have kind of identified that our two main streets that are gonna need to be attacked in the next 3 years is gonna be First Street Southwest and then School Street.
Yep.
And then maybe Fourth, that little
School
jog right in front of your
Streets
house.
is Ash, right?
Yes, right from the school. Yeah. So basically what would happen is we would have an engineer come in, engineer would engineer the project and it would say, this is how much the sanitary sewer pipes stuff costs, this is how much the water costs, this is how much the street costs. And then that would all be spit out into the sewer fund has to pay for this share, the water fund has to pay for this share, the street department has to pay for this share, Joe Public that owns property has to pay for this stuff.
Okay.
And that would all be split up and it would be taken out of those funds.
That's the
yes.
reason I was asking about
Yeah.
this. So why don't we, in preparation of thinking for this in the 5 to 10 years that we may need to do some of that stuff in other streets, increase these with the premise of saying we're going to be replacing streets and people will probably be okay with that increase.
Yeah, so you can do that one of two ways. And what we did last year, and you can see, here, I'll blow this up a little bit here. So in 2022, we were charging just $1 per bill for capital improvements. So that was about $6,000 a year, which was coming in. So last year we moved it to $2, which bumps it up to $12,000. So now every year we're going to be bringing $12,000 in towards capital improvement charges. Now, if you want to do that, you can either increase that.
And this is only one of those funds.
Yes, this is just water. This is just water. So every year, $12,000 from about $12,000 as an estimate. Because our bills fluctuate every year or every month of how many that we have.
What's in that fund right now?
I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I'd have to
Okay.
look. But, so $12,000 a year we're putting into capital, and that's just for capital stuff.
Yep.
So you could increase that, then, and the thing with that is that every bill, every month would get that charge, or you could do, like you said, you could increase the rates and do it that way. And basically, if you do it that way, then you're kind of making the people who use the most water pay more towards that capital stuff than the people who don't.
Now, my question is this then, just thinking, ballpark figure of those two things that you said need to be fixed. Do you know what that cost?
We had it. Do you remember what it was?
I was gonna say $1 million.
It was right around
So
2.
they're gonna have to do a bond for that anyways.
Yes, we'd have to bond for it, absolutely, yeah.
But then if we increase this, it would just be paid off quicker.
Yeah, we would use this to make the bond payments or, yeah, I mean, that's what we would ultimately do is use
Would that
money.
help affect next year's budget or the next year after that's budget?
Well,
Would that be less?
depending on how much the bond payments are. I mean, if like, let's say our bond payment is 30, well, it's not gonna be 30, but just for easy, let's call it 30. If we can pay 35 or 40, then we're having less money tied up in the bond and we pay it off faster and we can go back to doing other stuff.
And does this affect real estate taxes as far as what we're doing?
No.
No, because it's a capital fund.
It's an enterprise fund.
That's what I meant. All right.
Yeah, I mean, so the enterprise fund is just the people who use it pay for it. So,
And increasing the base charges, you are knowing what amount you're gonna get every year versus if you do a rate increase, people's.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, everybody uses the same amount of water. I mean, what I'm saying is you this year will use the same amount of water as you use next year's. I will more than likely until my kids leave. But yeah, so the thing is, it just depends on where you want to do it. If you want to increase the capital surcharge, we can do that really easy. That's just a flip of a switch and changing that out. And then you're gonna look at, if you go to 3, that's 18,000. So that's what the sewer fund has been at.
Just based off of what we've been thinking about, roads and streets in the next future, what needs to be done versus what gets done.
Well, so a lot of that's gonna depend on seeing Empire's stuff.
Yeah, right, but
Yeah,
we're
because
seeing.
I think we're kind of in a place I know we're in a place right now where if we can get 10 more years out of what's underneath the ground, we're probably not gonna dig that up. We'll probably grind and overlay that and let it go another 10 years.
Based upon this report that you're gonna see?
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest problem we're gonna have is Fourth and Ash. That's where and South Broadway, that's where we've got these little anomalies that popped up through the stuff. But outside of that, the oldest road and the worst shaped road and all the problems we have with shut offs is basically First Street Southwest and then the shoots off.
Has the school expressed any concerns about Ash and what's going on there?
No, we've been talking with them. They know that it's
Okay.
on our priority list. It's
Okay.
just our hope was that we were gonna do it at the same time that they were doing
Yeah.
the parking lot. It just does not. It doesn't match. Just doesn't
Okay.
match up. So.
Okay.
What's it gonna take for us to increase this?
Just a motion to change the capital charge or just a motion to change the whatever.
We could do that anytime too, it doesn't.
Yeah, we can do it after the
now.
first of the year. It doesn't have to be
done now.
Yeah, if you're gonna mess with the capital charges, that's not affecting the budget. And I'm fairly confident the budget is pretty close to where it is, so even if you raise the rates, it just means that we probably will take in more revenue than we spend in expenses. So.
Then I think we should wait, because then we don't see people out in the
Yeah.
public to see double
Sure.
whammy.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a pretty big whammy anyway,
Well, yeah,
with all
that's
stuff, but yeah. No, I mean, so we can adjust water rates anytime, and we can actually adjust them a couple times a year if we have to, so.
All right.
Thanks. But yeah, so if you're okay with that budget, we can adopt that one where it sits. And it's up to you if you wanna do each one separately, or if you wanna do it together. I really don't have a preference.
I would move that we do the water and sewer enterprise funds as motion for both of them together, the budget for 2024.
I'll second it.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve water enterprise fund, sewer enterprise fund, all in one motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, and then we'll move down to personnel policy.
All right, so effective January 1st, 2024, the state of Minnesota has required that all part-time, temporary, and full-time employees be given earned sick and safe time. So, talked to the city attorney through my research, and long story short, our PTO plan does satisfy the requirements of ESST. So we don't have to change anything other than now renaming our plan PTO/ESST. That qualifies for that. I'm assuming that's the way that you want it to go.
Yeah, I do.
There are communities that are establishing that as a second bank, as a separate bank. I don't think that we're in a financial position to do that. So this is the way that I did it. So long story short, the blue is the updated ESST language that's required by the state of Minnesota. Red is the stuff that'll be struck out of the policy manual. Our city attorney did review this and blessed it. The only thing is we will have to have a separate ESST account because the ambulance director is going to qualify to receive ESST.
Okay.
Based on the amount of hours she works. So,
Okay.
but now that'll be separate from PTO because it's not the same for her. So basically, if she doesn't use it when she leaves, then that's gone.
Plus, you don't qualify, if I understand how I read I noticed it's not mentioned here, but you can't make more than $30 an hour, right? If you make more than $30 an hour, then you don't qualify for this. Is that correct?
I know it's,
You have to work 30 hours.
30, you have to work at least 30 hours.
to
Well,
get
there's
1 hour.
pay tied into that too.
There's minimum wait, there's no, possibly.
Okay.
I do know that this policy's been approved by our city attorney,
Yeah,
and
well,
that it is what it needs to be, so.
he may have been thinking that we know it's $30 or, I mean, it's not mentioned in here, but I wouldn't stake my life on it, but I think it's, if you make over.
It's 1 hour for every 30 hours of work. It does not matter what you make.
Okay,
I don't believe so. I could be wrong with that. I'll check into it, but
yeah,
I do know that this is,
okay.
this change satisfies the requirement for the
Okay.
ESST.
Well, the reason, from my reading of the law, I thought it was if you made more than $30 an hour, you didn't qualify. Okay,
Seasonal workers, so when they're done at the end of, like, say, lifeguards,
I don't know.
are we paying out there?
They can't,
Sick?
ESST is not, you can't pay it out. It's property of the city.
mhm,
So if you don't use it and you leave, and the way that this is set up so that, like, let's say, so this is set up so that if you come back in 180 days, you maintain that ESST.
even farmers have to do it for seasonal help.
Yep.
Or Chad for seasonal help.
I know there's something we're not gonna be able to change, but I'm
It's so many
flabbergasted with
employees
the
though, isn't it?
definition of
Oh,
family member.
I don't know about that.
Aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, and at the very end, up to one individual annually designated by the employee. You could have me as my family member if you said I was my family member, and that could be covered.
Yeah, it's
That's
basically leave that's not, I
crazy.
mean, you can use it for whatever you want
That is
without any.
crazy.
Yeah.
Really, So I will need approval for that modification.
Motion to approve to the changes to the policy for adding the ESST wording.
Second.
Have a motion by Janda and a second by Lauren to adopt the ESST policy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Abstain.
abstain.
Yes.
Fund policy.
Did you say fun?
Fund.
Okay.
So long story short, we used to have a fund policy that this is for the next thing, so don't worry about that. The state requires us to have 35%, and we were running at 50. I don't think that's it's more of a goal than it is probably what's gonna happen. So, I've adjusted the fund policy to basically state that the city will maintain 40% with a goal of keeping 50%, as far as the fund policy.
Okay.
So,
I don't know if I saw that in there. Where was it?
yeah, it's right
The
here.
40 and 50.
It says,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, as a damage general fund, unassigned fund balance is not 50%, but
Yep.
with a goal of 50% total annual. So I just need approval to update that fund policy.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Janda and a second by Jason to approve the update of the fund policy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. We'll move on to,
So drug and alcohol workplace, or drug and alcohol free workplace policy. So that'll be policy stating that basically this is a safe and free environment from drugs and alcohol, and that no alcohol and drugs can be on city property or within city.
So Tony, is this a separate document or will it go in personnel policy?
It's separate at this time.
Yeah.
My plan is that once I have all the ST stuff done and some other stuff,
Let's-
we'll roll that in
into
and
one.
then put it in
Okay.
the policy.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best.
Yeah, easier to find it if it's in one place.
Move to approve.
I'll second it.
have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve the new drug alcohol free workplace policy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
All right, DocuWare. So, DocuWare is our repository for all of our scanned stuff. It's our, if you remember correctly, we paid for a 1-year contract with them. So they reached back out, and they wanted us to sign a 3-year contract. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. 3 years, we can lock in our price. No, they want 3 years up front. So I did talk to Brody at DocuWare and I said, hey, I get that, but we budget for a year at a time. We can't afford to pay that for whatever. So he gave me a couple options. The first option is to sign a 3-year lease, which they would lease out at $405.43 per month, which works out to be $4,865.16 per year. Or option 2, they will slightly increase what we normally, so we would pay $3,776 this year if we did a 1-year contract. But if we sign with them for 3 years, they will honor an annual payment of $3,896 a year for the next 3 years. So a little bit of an increase, but it keeps it there. Option 3 is to just do annual. And he says that they're seeing between a 7 and 10% increase in their cost of the software every year. So looking at that, the first year we basically pay $37.76, the second year between $4,000 and $4,200, and the third year between $4,400 and $4,600 if we went year by year.
If we had to pay, just do a year contract.
Yeah. So my recommendation would be to go with option 2 and sign a 3-year contract with them, pay just slightly more, but it would keep our costs the same for the next 3 years at $3,896.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, 'cause we can't come up with.
No, it was like $11,000. It was for scanning.
I move we go with option number 2 as explained by Tony on DocuWare.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to approve option number 2 for DocuWare. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Gonna move back to resolutions.
Yep.
Resolution 23-20, a resolution adopting the 2024 budget tax levy collectible in 2024.
You can ask one more time if anybody else wants to be heard and close your hearing.
Anybody else wanna be heard?
I got a question.
Okay.
On the very part of the resolution, you have the city budget set at $1,297,000. Where'd that dollar figure come from?
That's the revenue side.
Okay, gotcha.
These are just what we collect from the taxpayers.
And is this, I don't remember for sure, is this part of this? Or is that part of this?
That's just showing that ultimately that 8.73 is what the levy
Breakdown.
increase is gonna be.
It's part of this?
Kind of.
Because, I looked on there and it says city tax rate of $124,000.96.
Don't worry about that. That's figures from the county.
Okay.
It's a spreadsheet thing and not a thing.
Good.
Yeah. So.
Okay,
At
all
this-
the
But yeah, so this number right here minus revenue equals this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where you got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Move to approve resolution 2320.
I gotta close the hearing first. At this time, I'm gonna close the public truth and taxation hearing at 7:49.
Okay, I move to approve resolution 2320.
Second it.
Have a motion to approve resolution 23-20 adopting the 2024 budget. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Move down to resolution 23-21, a resolution adopting the donation.
Make a motion.
Second that.
Have a motion by Janda and a second by Jason to accept the donation from the Relief Association. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Move down to resolution 23-22, resolution of adopting an updated city fee
Do you
schedule.
want me to go through that real quick?
Sure.
Just to show you what's changes.
I see you put the changes in.
Yeah, so
That helps.
Councilmember Casey asked me last time that if, when we do this, if you could just show what's being changed, so I did that on this time.
Yep.
So basically, fire department requested that the fees for fire be increased due to the fact of the costs of such of the fees, so, auto extrication, $1,000, structure fire charge $1,500 or auto extrication was $500,000, structure fire from $1,500, fire service non-structure fire $500 to $1,000, and then landing zone from $250 to $500. So the water would be up or moving to an $8 base connection fee from $7.87, and then $10 per 1,000 gallons instead of $9.63 per 1,000 gallons. Trash collection, we're a little bit underfunded on our recycling, so $1 increase for trash collection, that'll go on January 1st.
What does that do? I mean,
That helps pay for
Yeah,
the
I know, but I mean-
cost of.
does it bring us
Yeah,
solvent
we'll
or?
be, we'll be pretty close, yeah.
When is that contract up? It's gotta be coming up.
As soon as this process is done and I get all these minutes done and past this council meeting, then I'm gonna start working on that. I think we have to have stuff to them in March to bid for the next and for this next contract, we do not have to split.
Correct,
We can go with one company.
correct.
Yeah, okay.
So, I already talked to Thompson's. Thompson's is very interested in taking over everything. So yeah, there's actually a post-it note on my desk that's my next, order of business to get that out. Cause we'll have to do an RFP and then send it to all of those guys, and then they'll send a quote or a bid for trash and recycling services. And from what I understand, Thompson now does recycling now too.
They used to a long time ago, but
Yeah, so that'll bring us back to where we should be to stabilize that account. And those are the changes for the fee schedule.
I'll make a motion, we accept the change to the fee schedule.
Second.
I have a motion by Jason and a second by Lauren to accept the fee schedule update. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We'll move over to the administrator's report. No, that already was.
What?
Last
Oh.
meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
completed
And it
the.
was in the consent agenda.
Oh, yeah,
items.
yeah. Cleared the budget, cleared the taxation, I'm working diligently to try to finish the final requirements for that stupid federal grant that we got coming.
For the hydraulic stuff.
No, that's for the turnout gear and the siren. I'm like page 3 of the 70 or 90 page audit of our facilities, and how it relates to accessibility. Yeah, so I really was hoping that we'd get that positive before the end of the year, but I don't know. Workers' compensation audit took place shortly after the last council meeting. Went with flying colors, no issues at all. Completed the ESSC policy, updated fund policy. Continued to work with the city attorney on a nuisance property on South Broadway. That's kind of an ongoing issue. Had some conversations with Prairie Senior Cottages. They're trying to be more involved in our community, and they're actually starting to offer hospice care. So they connected them with Bob at the care center and a few other places.
Prairie is over here, right?
Yep. Got the new light pole scheduled for the wastewater treatment plant. One of the police officers, the new part-time police officers, requested us to have access to the Minnesota State Deferred Comp Plan, so I'm working with them to set something up for our employees to access that. Doing some finalizing on some insurance stuff, signing some papers with Blue Cross Blue Shield and a few other places. And actually talked to some people at the co-op today, South Central Services Co-op, where we used to get our insurance, and they had a lot of questions because I think that there's a lot of people that are dropping out of the co-op for insurance purposes this year. So, all legitimately, I think dropping out of there saved us about $20,000 in our budget. So, I didn't bring this up when Shell was talking, but the draft chloride variance has been approved, and we just received it in an email, and so Michelle and I will dig into that wonderful, exciting reading in the next couple of days and figure out what it says. But we're in a 30-day pre-public comment period. So basically, Michelle and Eric and I and whoever else from the city has 30 days to review it and either tell them there's something we don't like in it or something we want changed, and they'll probably tell us no, that we don't care, and then they'll send it out to the public to have a comment period on what they feel. Long story short, we're putting too much chloride into it.
Is that just for our town or is that for state?
No, that's just for us. That's just our permit.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so water fund, sewer fund, garbage fund we took care of. Employee birthdays, Mr. Gerard's birthday on the 18th. Lexi from the ambulance on 31st. Carrie Gary, who does PD records, January 6th. Mallory Schlinger was our lead lifeguard out the lake, January 6th. And then Cody, part-time maintenance guy, his birthday's on the 8th. And then Laura Beckman's on the ambulance for a year on the 27th.
Nice.
So, that is what I got for you.
Move to approve administrator's report.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve the administrator's report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Did you move to adjourn? Second.
Have a motion by Janda and a second by Lauren to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned at 8:56.